What is up, interwebs? Big Lou here, coming at you with Matt, the Cut Man. I just totally botched that, didn't I?
You do what you do, man.
I did what I did. Anyway, we are here. I'm still reeling from having seen Spider-Man Homecoming. So
That's why I say take a stiff shot of whatever, but just, soothes the nerves.
boy, we are off to a gangbuster of a start here, folks. Last night we went to go see Spider-Man Homecoming, and boy howdy, what a movie.
Yes, I completely agree.
Let's do this the way that we normally do, with no spoilers up front. We'll get to some spoilers as we progress through the review. We'll give you fair warning as to when the spoilers are going to happen. So that
Right, exactly. You don't want to talk about how Spider-Man died in the second act.
Yeah, no, we don't. We got to wait till the end
Keep
of
that
the review
under
to talk
wraps.
about that.
Yeah,
So
don't want to spoil anything.
yeah, exactly. Without spoiling anything, Matthew, what did you think of Spider-Man Homecoming?
Oh, absolutely, it was great.
I completely
Yeah.
agree with you. I loved this movie. I thought it was fantastic.
I thought it was like a coming of age movie, but folded into the MCU.
Yeah, no, it absolutely was. The tones of John Hughes were weaved so thoroughly through this movie. It was done so well.
I was thinking that exact moment when Spidey was swinging through the neighborhoods. Like, you know what this reminds me of? That scene in Ferris Bueller, and then there's that scene in Ferris Bueller that's playing on the TV in the background. That was the first time that I had one of those, hey, you know what? It would be funny if, and then something happens.
Yeah, there is several of those moments.
Yeah.
The thing that stands out the most to me in this was that this is the truest version of Spider-Man that we've had from what he's like portrayed in the comics and in the animated series. He was always and forever in the comics struggling with, do I be Peter Parker? Do I be Spider-Man? And he always wanted to be Spider-Man more so than Peter Parker.
Right.
Peter Parker's boring and unpopular. Spider-Man, while he is considered the menace by J. Jonah Jameson, I almost said
J.J. Abrams.
I was going to say J.J. Abrams. Yes, I was. But
yeah, he
Sorry.
definitely had that. Okay, what should I do? And there were several moments where he's like, okay, I'm going to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go do the thing, even at great cost to Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And his, possible
future.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing that stood out to me about all of that was that they had told us from the beginning, this is not an origin story.
Thank fucking Christ.
But it was an origin story. This
but I'm just so glad that I didn't have to see another spider bite him and then him wake up and be like, oh, what do I do now? It's just like, okay, we're in it.
It was definitely, we didn't have to deal with, okay, who he cast as Uncle Ben and what happens there. It's just that's already happened.
Comes great responsibility.
That's not quite how the line goes.
How does it go?
No, I mean, that's the words, but who were you what impression was that?
That was from the first one, the first one.
Yeah, I realized that, but
he was like Old Man Ben.
Yeah.
It wasn't Martin Sheen Ben.
I understand that too, but you were doing an impression of, it sounded almost like Sean Connery.
No.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Sean Connery wouldn't have been shot by a mugger. He would have killed the mugger and then fucked his mom.
That's very true.
Spoiler alert on that.
Yeah. Your best. Losers cry about doing their best. Anyway, getting off target.
Spoiler on our viewers, there's a 98% chance that Sean Connery has slept with your moms.
Yes.
Just so you all know.
That's true.
I did the math. Yes, that checks out.
Hang on, wait, let me... yeah, I got the same thing. Anyway, yes. The fact that this was him coming into his own and fully realizing what all is involved in being Spider-Man is one of the coolest parts about this movie. So,
yeah.
What else stands out to you that you really liked about this movie?
The villain.
I absolutely agree. I love Michael Keaton.
Yeah, you do.
Michael Keaton is amazing. And I love it when he plays bad guys. He doesn't do it that often,
Yeah.
but when he does, he fucking owns it, and he owned it so hard.
You want to get nuts?
Come on!
Let's get nuts! He got nuts.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
But not in a way that was like the Joker or crazy.
No, he was grounded. He had, so to speak, he had reasons for all of the things that he did.
The motivation behind why he was doing it.
Indeed.
They go into such depth on developing
And establishing
why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, it's just not like a winged baddie.
Yeah.
That's flying around.
Yeah,
Or there's not like some serum that's turned him crazy or some world domination or whatever. He wants a good life.
Yeah, and tired of getting stepped on by the man.
Right.
If you
exactly.
will. So,
exactly. There is a point in which you're like, okay, I can see where he's coming from, and I don't disagree.
Yeah. Exactly.
With what he has to say. So
yeah. Another thing that stood out to me was the chemistry that he had with Aunt May. I love Marissa Tomei in this movie.
Okay, you skipped to we're back to Peter. I thought we were still talking about.
No. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. I thought we had wrapped up.
There was one moment, and I want to know if you caught it.
Okay, go ahead.
There was a moment in the first encounter that was it Vulture?
Yeah, Vulture.
That Vulture had with Spider-Man when he grabs him and he flies him up, and then he goes to drop him. This is like in the first or second act.
Yeah, and this is in the trailer.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And he drops him, and the camera points back up at Vulture, and it's just a shot of him with his wings expanded.
I did see that.
Right in the moonlight, and I'm like, oh, that is a Batman homage right there.
That was outstanding. It was not lost on me, so be sure you look for that. Good. So, yeah, no, that was... it was not lost on me. I was like, it's Bat Signal. But it was
the whole anthem started to play in my head.
Yeah. Start singing Prince songs while we're sitting there in the theater. Where's the Bat? He's at home, washing his tights.
He stole my balloons.
Why didn't somebody tell me that he had one of those things?
Sorry, we apologize.
Yes, but not really. Maybe a little.
You clicked on the link. You know what you were getting into.
This is very true. Their chemistry together, Spidey and Vulture, and Tom Holland and Michael Keaton.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought was outstanding.
Yeah,
and it was definitely a lot of depth to a very laughable character from the comics. Vulture in the comics was just this old dude with a pair of wings, and it was like, okay, they're going to do a whole movie about Vulture, and then you watch the movie and you're like, oh my god, they did a whole movie about Vulture. It was really, really well. And I'm glad that when they had said that they were going to have Shocker was going to be there, and then Tinker was going to be there, and everyone started getting, shades of Spider-Man 3. It's like, okay, well, how many villains are we going to have?
Yeah.
It didn't come across that way at all. It was like they were just kind of there, and they fit the story.
They folded into the story so well.
Yeah. So I really, really like what they did with all of the bad guys in this movie, which is saying something for a Spider-Man movie.
You know what the other homage to the original that I just really dug was the upside down scene.
Yeah.
Where and this is in the trailer as well, so no spoilers here. But when Spidey goes to save the group in the Washington Monument, I was about to say the Lincoln Tower.
There's no such place as the Lincoln Tower.
In the Washington Monument, and he goes to save them. He's hanging upside down, and you think, wait, is he going to kiss the girl upside down? Are they going to do this? And
and then what happens.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But going back to Marissa Tomei as Aunt May, I love Marissa Tomei.
Just going to need a moment there. Yeah.
All right, that was exactly one moment.
Yeah.
So,
that's Chevy.
Yeah. Their chemistry together was really, really good. And she, to me, no spoiler here, but she has the best line in the whole damn movie.
Yeah.
And you'll know it when she says it.
Yeah.
But it was seeing her interact with him, and when she's helping him, get ready for the dance and doing some of the other stuff that they were doing with her, and talking to her at dinner, and how everyone knows that she's like smoking hot, but her, or she kind of plays it off, which is really good. So.
Oh God, there was one line at the dinner scene that I laughed at. I don't think anybody else laughed at it, but I cannot think of it for the life of me. And I'm wasting all of our time.
It happens that way sometimes. But so anything about this that you didn't necessarily like? No spoilers, but
not necessarily. The only thing that my one complaint, it's not that I didn't like it, but if I had one complaint,
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Does anybody have a map?
If I may. I just found myself, when they were touching on it, I found myself more interested in the Tony Stark Avengers story than Spider-Man. It's kind of like when you're reading a really good book that jumps around and it skips to like one part of the book, and you're like, no, I want to see what happened. Go back, but then you're fine. You're fine as the story progresses on. But you just wanted to know what happened. That was the only complaint that I had.
My one complaint. Rephrase. My one non-spoiler complaint.
Okay.
Is that the marketing for this movie gave so much to us. They put so much stuff in the trailers. I mean, you've noticed how many times we've sit here and said tonight, oh, this was in the trailer, it's not a spoiler. Right. Well, some of the trailers were spoilers.
Yeah, there was a lot there that I wish that I hadn't seen. Like, I wish that I didn't know that Spider-Man, that Iron Man shows up at the ferry scene.
Yeah. Just seeing him, holding the stuff, that iconic shot from the trailer with, strung between the ferry as it's splitting.
Yeah.
That would have been all I needed.
Yeah.
And then, okay, how's he going to save this? There were no stakes to that scene because we knew that Iron Man was going to show up and
I'm just kind of waiting for it.
Yeah. And then the line where he says something like, if you really cared, you'd be here, and then the suit opens and he steps out.
Yeah.
That was in the trailer. We saw that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
I get how that was an emotional impact for him because they sold that moment.
Yeah.
Because, if the suit opens up and then Tony Stark steps out, you're going to be taken aback.
And he was.
He absolutely was, but the audience wasn't because we knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, because we've seen it on every commercial breaks for the past 3 months.
But it was still cool.
It was, yeah, I'm not taking anything away from that. So, anyway, final thoughts before we get into some spoiler territory. Definitely go see this movie in the theater. It's very much worth your time, even if there are stupid people that bring infants to the movie and the air conditioner breaks again.
Good Lord. Do we have to go back there?
Yeah. They got reclining seats and a bar.
God damn it.
So there's that. Anyway, you now have been warned. We're getting into some spoilerific territory.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to be spoiled, go see the movie, pause this, and then come back and finish it up. That being said,
however,
dude, Vulture was freaking Liz's dad. Did you see that coming at all?
I saw that coming about a microsecond before he opened the door. Like, as he's walking up, I'm like, oh, you know what I bet is, oh, that happened.
Yeah, it was as the door was opening, and I'm like, thinking in my head, I wonder who her dad's gonna. Oh my God, that's who her dad is. It was, yeah.
Oh, so that was good.
That twist
was really good.
So well done. And I love how they did how the villain figured out who Spider-Man was thing.
Yes, that was a great scene.
And they're, she's talking. They're on their way to the homecoming dance, and she's talking to him about, oh no, well you left here too, and you left here too, and you were only at the party for blah. And he's just.
Do you know what it reminded me of?
Putting the pieces together. What's that?
It reminded me of the end of, and this is a spoiler alert for about 20 years. It reminded me of the end of The Usual Suspects.
With the Kaiser Sose?
Yeah. As he's putting together, he like spots the mug, and then he spots the thing on the wall, and then Kevin Spacey's starting to walk with a regular step
without the limp. Just very very slowly cutting back and forth. And it's kind of like that slow realization to the audience that Oh, fuck, they had him.
Yeah.
Yeah, missed it by that much. But yeah, that to me was outstanding. Which again goes to their camaraderie and chemistry that they had as hero and villain. And I mean, you hear people or villains in movies all the time say, if you don't back off, I'll kill you and everyone that you love.
You felt it with him.
You hear Michael Keaton say it,
yeah,
and I'm like, you got it, Mikey. I'm not doing nothing, dude.
I'll be good.
Yeah,
I swear.
Yeah. So
we cool.
Yeah. What else stands out, spoilery wise, that you want to talk about?
Oh, did you? So as he unlocked the suit, and the suit starts talking to him. Did you catch who it was?
The voice?
The voice of the suit.
No.
I knew it sounded familiar. I didn't catch it in the theater, but I had to look it up. It was Jennifer Connelly.
Really?
Was the voice of Suit Lady / Karen.
Karen, yeah. That's
what he named his AI in his suit. Which, and I had to look this up to be sure. Jennifer Connelly is married to Paul Bettany.
Is she really?
Who is, of course, Jarvis, who is the AI of the...
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's freaking great.
Yeah, Jennifer Connelly is the voice. I'm like, who? It was wrapping my... It took me out of the movie for a solid 5 minutes.
Oh, I knew that I recognized the voice, but it didn't bother me nearly that much to...
Well, I have an OCD thing.
That's very true, you do.
I'm seeing somebody.
Oh, good for you. I'm sure you'll be very happy.
Yeah, we'll see. Depends on what pills.
Yeah. Anything negative, spoilery-wise, that stands out that...
you know what? The only thing, and this was what I'm going to say. We talked about it just a minute ago, was that I did know exactly who was going to answer the door. It was like 2 seconds was the gap between that, but I think it just could have been slightly edited down so that why are they spending so much time with him walking up to the door? So that whoever answers the door is going to be somebody. I wish we would have been slapped in the face with it a bit more.
I had that same kind of thought, but at the time, thinking back on what my thought process was as I was watching him walk up to the scene, I remember thinking, oh man, they're doing a real good job of focusing on the teenage nervousness of him, the long walk to the girl's house as he's picking her up for prom, or in this case, for homecoming. So that didn't hit me until, like you said, immediately before he opens the door. And then I was like, oh wait, who's her dad gonna... And then it was...
The only thing that I could think would be a solution to that is if Aunt May was actually walking up with him, just to make sure that he's all set and we're focused on whatever it is they were saying, and all of a sudden the door opens and there they are.
There it is, whammo, as they say. Yeah, no, I can see that. My biggest negative is, and this is going to be one of those petty nitpickery type of things.
Continue.
The continuity of Tony Stark's character in this movie seemed a little bit off from Civil War. In Civil War, at the end of Civil War, he was damaged, dude. He had gone through some shit. And he was, through that whole movie with the being tormented on the events of Sokovia and Ultron and all like that. So he was very subdued. He was a very, in a different place, Tony Stark in Civil War. This movie picks up right after that, and it's
8 months.
No, it was only 2 months.
Oh, was it?
The 8 that you're thinking of is when it goes. The very beginning was right after the events of Battle of New York. And then, Tyne Daly comes in and takes the contract away from Boone, Michael Keaton's character.
Yeah.
And then it fast forwards 8 years.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but no, and then when he's doing the flashbacks of his little video that he made for himself,
right,
and he gets home with the suit and whatever, and then it says fast forward 2 months later. So he's really only 2 months removed from the events of beating the crap out of Captain America, finding out that it was Bucky that killed his mom. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Captain America Civil War, but if you're watching this, I've assumed that you have seen Civil War. So it just seemed a little bit of too much of a, oh, yuckity yuck Tony Stark than...
Back to Playboy.
Yeah, exactly. Than where he was just 2 months previous. Sure. And, like I said, very nitpicky type of a comment, but it's something that I noticed as I was watching the movie. So, overall, I loved this movie. I thought it was...
Speaking of Tony.
Yeah.
So at the end, the scene at the end where Happy gives him the ring and they go to the press conference. So, do you feel like they were trying to wrap up some loose Tony Stark ends? And does that mean that we won't ever get another Iron Man movie?
I don't think we're going to get another Iron Man movie with Robert Downey Jr. I think that...
Well, he is Iron Man.
He is, absolutely. But I think the next two Infinity War movies, or the next two Avengers movies, are going to be the last times we see Tony Stark, or Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Now, whether or not he dies or just steps away from being Iron Man to go, build Pepper a farm, as he said at the end of Age of Ultron. Whether or not that happens, I don't know what they're going to do. But I do think that Robert Downey Jr. is not going to be Tony Stark anymore. And also, I think that we're going to be getting... no more Cap, no more Thor. I think all those original Avengers guys are going to be going out, and they're going to be doing a new, what they're calling Phase 4 at the MCU. So post Avengers.
I did read
4.
that
Sam Jackson
will be in Captain
Marvel. Yeah, he's also going to be in Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah, I just assumed he was.
Yeah, so and those are his last two appearances that he's contracted for with Marvel. That makes sense. I'm curious to see what he's going to be in Captain Marvel, because Carol Danvers, the character, is in the Air Force, or at least she was in the comics, I think, the Air Force. Anyway, we're getting off target, so...
Stay on target.
But yeah, and then we get teased in the post... credits teaser that
indeed we do.
Scorpion is going to be the next Spidey villain. So I don't think we've seen Scorpion on the big screen yet. So that'll be interesting. I do like.
There's about 98 villains in Spider-Man 3, so it could have been.
Yeah, no, that's true. I do like the fact that when they're talking to each other in prison there in the post credits, he says, "Do you know who he is?" He goes, "If I knew who he was, he'd be dead already." He didn't rat him out,
right?
Which. Why'd he do that?
Was it the Minchie thing to do, or does he want him for himself?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Doesn't seem like a Minch.
Anyway, those are our thoughts.
Oh, there was one more thought.
Oh, please.
So this we're recording this on Friday.
It is Friday, yes.
And so as of Friday morning, this was outpacing Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Not to cross, Marvel DC lines, but better or worse than Wonder Woman.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm sorry to I sprung this on him.
No,
I apologize.
It's oranges and tangerines, man. They're two different licks of the same sucker, if that makes any sense. But it doesn't. In my mind, it does. Which is a better movie?
You could do it. Which is a better movie? Which would you prefer? Which
if I had a ticket in front of me to go see Wonder Woman or Spider-Man again, I'm going to go see Spider-Man again, only because I've been such a much bigger fan of Spider-Man than I have Wonder Woman over the years. I mean, Spider-Man was my number one growing up.
Okay.
So, and this movie was done so well.
I agree. With almost everything you said there, but I still got to say Wonder Woman for me.
Yeah. No, and that's...
I mean, we are splitting. We are literally splitting hair. We're not literally. We are figuratively splitting hair.
I was going to say, I don't have that many hairs to split, so...
Don't touch my hair.
I didn't.
Well, you were thinking about it.
Yeah, I was. It's pretty, isn't it?
All right, stay away.
I will. Anyway, any other thoughts before I try to wrap us up again?
No, you do you.
I do me. All right. That's our thoughts on Spider-Man Homecoming. Make sure you leave us your thoughts down in the comments section below. You can find us online just at theinterwebshow.com. You can find us on Twitter at The Interweb Show, Facebook at The Interweb Show. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, and in the meantime, we will be right here for more reviews as the summer progresses. So, we will see you on the interwebs.
So peace.
That's how Dad did it.
That's how America does it.
And it's worked out pretty well so far.
Has it?
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.